I remember. I can even remember the day. That day, 1701. I was a young fool. Entered the throne room with nothing but dreams of daring and a burning thirst for action. Still, Her Majesty was considerate, listened to me. All I needed was a ship and someone to believe in me. We followed the wind west, sailed with the dolphins. I often asked myself if I'd promised too much, when I boastfully filled Her Majesty's ears with the prospect of settling huge tracts of land. Many industrious hands went to work, built a prospering settlement from nothing. Then it happened. Together we managed to repair the damage. We did more. The city shone as never before. Today, trade flourishes. Her Majesty is satisfied. It paid off. Back in 1701. Welcome. You are already well equipped to build a settlement in the world. In the fourth and last tutorial, we want to show you how to settle new islands. You will also establish a trading route to supply your population with goods and bring you to the prominent attention of the Queen. The inhabitants of your settlement have expressed a need for alcohol. However, you cannot yet build the necessary production facilities on your island, as your island does not have the required fertility for hops or sugarcane. In addition, it will be expensive to purchase it regularly from the free trader. So, let's look at some alternatives. As luck would have it, the Queen has placed one of her own ships at your disposal, the Neptune. In the ship menu, you can check the Neptune's current cargo. The ship currently has no goods on board. To load the ship, it must anchor directly in front of the settlement's warehouse. Steer the Neptune by right-clicking near your warehouse. Activate the transfer of goods by left-clicking on the tab which has now appeared. You are now in the loading menu. From here you can load goods from the warehouse onto the ship and vice versa. In the warehouse you will see all the goods that are available to you at the Goldfurt warehouse. Load 20 tons of bricks, 20 tons of tools and 20 tons of wood onto your ship. To do this, click on the relevant goods icon. 10 tons will be loaded per click. You can close the goods overview as the Neptune now has... Excellent! This ship is now laden and you can set sail on your journey. Have a look at the mini-map in the left corner of the screen. This provides an overview of the island world and shows you all the areas which you have already explored. The yellow colouring indicates every area on your island that you have already settled. It is time to embark on a maiden voyage. You can right-click on the ship directly on the minimap to issue a movement order. The destination of your first trip is already marked there. Steer the ship by right-clicking on the minimap at the position indicated, shown by a red circle. Congratulations! You have discovered a new island at the end of your journey. One of your sailors has already climbed up to the crow's nest to have a closer look at the new island. You are lucky. As you can see from the fertility display at the top of the screen, this island is ideally suited for cultivating sugarcane. You can establish your alcohol production here. You now only have to acquire the island. When you settle a new island, you must always build a warehouse first. It must be built right on the coast. Here, the long sandy beach is ideally suited for this. Stretches of coast suitable for building are always identifiable by flat sandy beaches. Here you can construct coastal buildings such as the warehouse or the fisherman's hut. However, you cannot build on steep cliffs. Once you have reached an island's coast and have enough building material on board, the construction button in the ship menu will become active and you can erect the building. In the ship menu, select the button Build Warehouse. Build the warehouse on a suitable coastal construction site. Good. Now that the warehouse is built, you have taken the first step in settling a new island. Once built, the remaining building materials will be automatically loaded into the warehouse of your new settlement, Ransingen. As you are not building an entire settlement in Ransingen, but only want to build production facilities for manufacturing goods, you do not require a village centre or houses. You can immediately start building your alcohol production. You will also find a distillery among the settlers' buildings in the construction menu, where sugarcane can be distilled to produce alcohol. Open the construction menu and select distillery in the settler buildings. Build the building near the warehouse. Link the distillery to the warehouse by a dirt road so that the market wagons can pick the goods up. Select the dirt road in the Pioneer buildings and build a road connection between the distillery and the warehouse. You can't build a road here in this tutorial, the start and end point of the dirt road. Now you only need sugarcane plantations to keep the distillery supplied. With 2 plantations within its area of influence, the distillery will work at full capacity. In the construction menu, switch to the settler buildings and build 2 sugarcane plantations near the distillery. Excellent! The distillery will soon send its journeyman out to pick up the sugarcane from the plantations, and rum will then be distilled from it. You must not make your settlers wait any longer. To load the alcohol, return to the Load menu. Activate the Transfer of Goods by left-clicking on the tab of the same name. In the warehouse overview, you will again see all the goods you can load onto the ship from the warehouse. Excellent! As the alcohol is now aboard the Neptune, you can close the goods overview and set forth on your journey home. Left-click to switch back to the relevant tab in the warehouse. Now transport the alcohol to Goldford. To do this, sail your ship directly in front of your warehouse. The spot is again marked on the minimap. Right-click on the minimap to steer the ship to the position indicated. After an uneventful crossing, you have now arrived in your home port and can unload the cargo using the transfer of goods. Switch to transfer of goods in the ship menu. It is now time to serve your settlers with their first home-brewed rum. Left-click on the goods icon to unload the alcohol from the ship's hold to the warehouse. Congratulations! The alcohol is now in the warehouse. As you can see from the display, the shipment will gradually satisfy the need for alcohol. You've done a good job. However, the alcohol you have just delivered will not last forever, and you will soon have to establish a supply. You won't always have time to attend to this personally. So, to facilitate the transport between the islands, you must create a trading route. You can create trading routes using the strategy map, which you will find on the right edge of the minimap. Open the strategy map. The strategy map is the reduced version of the entire game world on which you will see marked your 2 warehouses and your ship. You can create a new route using the option Create Trading Route on the left corner of the map. Click the button Create Trading Route. First, set the warehouse on the production island Ransingen as the starting harbour for your route. Select the trading route should start at your production island, Ransingen. Select Ransingen in the warehouse selection as the start harbour for the trade. Now establish your target harbour. This is the warehouse on your main island. Next, establish which item of goods should now be transported. Open the Ransingen warehouse overview by left-clicking on the Load button to the bottom left. Excellent! The goods icon for alcohol will now be displayed at both warehouses. Now, select the cargo to be unloaded at the target harbour, Goldford. Click on the Unload button on Target Warehouse, Goldford, to unload the cargo. Well done. Fantastic! Now all you have to do is activate the route so that the Neptune can set sail and pick up the alcohol. Use the button Assign Ship to order the Neptune to sail. Alternatively, you can assign warehouses and ships to a trading route so that you select... Congratulations! Your trading route is now complete, and the Neptune has already set sail towards Ransingen. Alcohol will now be delivered to Goldford automatically. Click the flashing button to close the strategy map. With the opening up of your first trading route, you have successfully mastered the 4th and last tutorial. Your population is overjoyed at your marvellous achievements, and neither have your early successes escaped the notice of the Queen.
We really would not have expected this. You are quite a surprise.
You have now learnt everything you need to know to take fate into your own hands in the world. If you would prefer to practice once again, you can repeat this tutorial or start the practice game. Return to the main menu to quit the tutorial.
We can hardly wait for you to establish a flourishing metropolis on this island worthy of your queen. Do not disappoint us.
You have a good eye. Here you'll find everything you need.
Do you really want to see me?
I bid you a warm welcome, my dear.